Hello and welcome to another episode of Come Sit Down, Let's Talk. I am Master Life Coach Mechelle Canady, the Chief Curator of Embrace You Training Solutions, also known as Miss Get You Together. And we are here with episode 3 with Janay the Goat White. I've been life coaching Janay now for more than a year, and we wanted to take the time to show you all how, even being the GOAT, you still need a life coach.
Yes.
So, we're going to let y'all in on some of our conversations, how we talk, how we bounce back and forth, how I coach her, she coach me, and we're going to let y'all just experience what the coaching relationship is like. So I picked a couple of areas that I want to ask questions about, and we're going to go from there. So one of the things I wanted to discuss is balance. How do you balance being Janay, the GOAT, and a mother?
Ooh, well, you know that I am still struggling with that. Of course, you taught me that every time I say yes to somebody else, I'm saying no to myself. So it has gotten a lot better as I grow, as I realize that I do need to have boundaries. But basically, I just balance now. I have office hours. I have days where I'm available for certain things. I have days where I'm only available to my children. I have days where I'm only available to, my friends, my boyfriend. So it's just putting everybody in their perspective places at perspective times.
So how much of a challenge was that, really starting to put boundaries in place with people?
It was a huge challenge because I've learned to realize that people are going to do what you allow them to do. So if you're answering your phone and replying to text messages about business at 3 o'clock in the morning, people are going to text you at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was literally one day I was at Disney World with my daughter, and I think she was like 4 years old at the time. And I was on my phone replying to people and, taking calls. And she was like, Mommy, you're always working. You're always working. When I grow up, I'm not going to do credit because I'm going to have to work all the time. And so I was like, wow, okay, I definitely need to, she's having a problem with this. So I definitely need to create boundaries to where when I'm with her and we're doing certain things, I'm not working.
So how did that translate to friends and family?
Friends and family, just going through life and as you grow. So at certain times I would elevate, and it would be like that elevation would take me away from my friends and family, and it would be like, okay, they should just understand. But then when something would go wrong, or I would need them and need to be grounded, or need that real, true, genuine love, then I would go running back to them. So it's like, no, I have to make time for them. As I make time for them, they're going to be able to help me in different situations and come up with different ideas and different exit strategies or whatever it is that I need. So it's kind of like just reiterating that, hey, these are not the people that you leave behind, or these are not the people that, you should just understand. I have all this stuff going on. I'm so busy, so I don't have time for you until I want to have time for you.
Yeah, that does happen, especially when you have a quick elevation.
Yes.
Sometimes when you are in that process, we're really just learning on the fly. Like it's all trial and error.
All of it.
When I say to people in sessions often is, sometimes you can't leave in silence. Like sometimes you've got to announce your departure because it feels like abandonment.
Yes.
Like if we've been hanging, and now when I'm ready to hang, you always busy, I'm gonna feel abandoned as a friend. So making sure that we're doing that right communication as to, okay, so right now in this space I am, my schedule is a little hectic,
Yes.
so making sure you're making those announcements so that people don't feel abandoned, because sometimes our silence reads as abandonment.
Yes, it does.
So how are you managing it all though?
I'm still learning. I still have a life coach. I still have sessions. Some days are easier than others. Some days are harder than others. I do feel like every single day something doesn't get as much attention as it should have. Because anytime I'm saying yes to my children, I'm saying no to my business. Anytime I'm saying yes to my business, I'm saying no to my children. Anytime I say yes to adult things that I want to do, my friends, vacations, adult vacations, my love life, I'm saying no to my business and to my children. So it's an everyday learning process, and just, hey, I'm only one person. What's important to me today? Do I feel like being the GOAT today? No, I feel like being a mom. Do I feel like being a mom today? No, I feel like being the GOAT. I need to handle business. Do I feel like being the GOAT or mom? No, I want to be pampered and be a girlfriend. So it's things like that that I just had to learn, but they each help each other, because when I'm a mom, I can say, hey, this is my why. This is why I go so hard to do these things, and this is how I'm able to afford you this lifestyle, is I'm a businesswoman as well. So that teaches them along the way as well.
So, what is it that you're doing to build a better Janay?
Wow, every day it changes. So I've always been, it's a gift and a curse, a very transparent person. I've always been the type of person to air out my own dirty laundry, tell my own business, whether good or bad. So to become build a better Janay, every day I just try to take each day for what it is. I used to worry a lot, and I have really bad anxiety. So it's like I would try to plan for something 10 years from now, and it's like that's gonna stress you out. You're not in the moment if I'm 10 years out from now. We just talked about this. So it's like to be better, I have to handle what I can handle right now and say, okay, today, what is most important to Janay? If I was just with my kids all weekend and they're in school, well, now this is my time to focus on business. So it's just learning that everything that I do, I have to realize what's making me happy right now. What can I do and how can I do it the best and in what order?
So, what does your support system look like?
Oh, it's big. Everybody is my support system. And that's what people don't realize. Like, it could literally be somebody inboxing me saying, keep going, you're inspiring me. But it also is the long talks. It's the, hey, coach, I need you. I just need to vent. And we on the phone for 5 hours.
Literally.
Right. So just unpacking. It could be, hey, Janay, I know you have this going on. I'm going to watch your daughter and take really good care of her. So my support system is wide, long, and far, because again, I'm just one person. It's my business partners. It's people saying, hey, don't worry about this. I got this. Hey, I saw this out there. I saw you needed this, so I'm going to take care of it. So it's not a one-size-fits-all package, and it changes from day to day.
So one thing that I have definitely been able to identify is that you can have the best plan there is, but without a team, your plan to win don't work
At all.
because it takes team and team members. So tell me about a time that you found yourself in a place of feeling imbalanced.
So I feel imbalanced when it comes to having enough time for Janay. Not mother Janay, not business Janay, not the GOAT, not anything that I do, just being me and being isolated to, if I want to scream. If I want to jump in the pool. It's like I always feel imbalanced when it comes to this is what I want to do, because I always have to think about, well, what does that look like? If I take time and go out the country for 2 weeks, does that look like I abandoned my children? Does it look like I abandoned my business? Will I still have a business when I come back? So that is what troubles me right now.
So what are you putting in place to make sure those things are happening?
A lot of coaching, business coaching, life coaching, a lot of venting, a lot of trial and error. That's what I'm putting in place right now, and just a reflection, a lot of looking back. How did I get here? What steps were taken? What's great about those steps? What's awful about those steps?
So when it comes to spending time with Janay, are you putting those on a calendar? Are you setting aside time to say, this is going to be my time? I know when I was working, I intentionally worked a Tuesday through Saturday shift so that I could have Monday, because I knew that everybody would be going to school, everybody would be going to work, and then this would be my time to be able to reset. Because we'll find ourselves running, and before you know it, you're in a place where you're empty. So being able to put those days in place, in hindsight now, that was a great idea then, but now as a full-time entrepreneur, taking a full Monday off every Monday is sometimes not optional. So what I do is I do reset moments. Like my low energy period is around 4:30. So around 4:30, I'm trying to get somewhere where I can get still. Whatever that looks like for me, whether it looks like watching a Hallmark Christmas movie, whether it looks like just being able to sit down and eat some popcorn, or whether it looks like taking a nap. Like I always say, all I need is 22 minutes and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to go. So, do you think putting something like that in place would help you with balance?
So let me be very honest with you and very transparent. It scares me because then I would have to dig deep down and really find out who is Janay right now. Who is the November 2022 35-year-old Janay? Like, do you even know her? Do you know what she likes? Does she even want to do this anymore? So to even hear you say that, it's like, but do I? If that was given to me, like if I had the opportunity to only be with Janay for 2 weeks, would I really want that? Would I come out on the other side better?
It is vital, like, to give yourself those moments. Like, you may not be ready to unpack for 2 whole weeks, Janay. But what about 15 minutes of Janay? What about, okay, when I get up in the morning, these first 15 minutes, I'm going to just spend with me. Literally started out with 15 minutes.
Wow.
And I would set an alarm, because then when I was working, I would get up normally at 5:30. So at 5:15, my alarm would go off, and I would literally just lay by myself, not talking, not reaching to check my phone first thing, and give myself 15 minutes. And then at 5:30, my second alarm would go off, and I knew then it was time for me to get up and start my day. That's how I started. 15 minutes. With the other 23 hours and 45 minutes that we invest in other people, you deserve 15 minutes.
Yes.
So does that sound like something that you think would help you, just to start with 15 minutes?
Yes, definitely. I'm going to try that in the morning. When my alarm go off, I'm not going to jump up, wake my kids up. I'm going to sit there and reflect, and because I think that's the best time in the morning while everybody's asleep.
Because it's undisturbed. It's not undisturbed. You know, it's people are not demanding of anything of you right then, and it just gives you a chance. And what it did for me was to help me center me. Help me argue with my inner critic, because sometimes first thing in the morning that thing pop off. It gave me a chance to just settle me, and my day started being smoother. It simmered my attitude. Like I wasn't as snappy, just taking a moment to do that for me. If you did that, how do you think that will benefit you?
I think it would start me off in a place of peace. It would start me off, I would be ahead of the day, because throughout the day I'm being pulled in so many directions. So it would start off, Janay, what is your goal? What are you setting out to accomplish today? What's on your to-do list? And then I could kind of stay the course and not let anybody divert me from that.
Yeah. So what do you think will be in it for you to commit to those first 15 minutes to Janay?
Something that could get me to commit is just wanting to, grow. wanted, needing to grow. I mean, growth is important in life with anything. Just like with business, I would be devastated if my business was the exact same place it was last year. So I just have to make that commitment to myself and say, Janay, this is something that you need to do if you want to continue to grow personally.
So, who do you think is the person that you're most committed to?
My children, my daughter,
So,
specifically.
if Riri was asking you for 15 minutes a day, would you be hesitant to give that to her?
Not at all.
Janay is asking for 15 minutes a day. Would you be hesitant?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of Janay.
Look, Janay is a
Crazy.
trip,
Right.
Janay is she a trip. So I want to shift a little bit. So when it comes to being able to separate the goat from Janay, what does that look like in your home?
In my home, the goat doesn't exist. It's literally like, so let me give you an example. The goat doesn't exist to the point that my kids, we probably ride past my billboard every day and they literally will not look up. Like, that's not somebody that they know. It's somebody that they know that people associate that person with their mom, but that's not who they know. That's not who's true to them. In my home, I'm very shy. I'm very goofy. I'm very, laughing, happy-go-lucky. And it's my place of peace. It's my place of, I don't want to think about business in my home. I don't want to think about any troubles. This is my place where I go and retreat.
So in that place of retreat, what boundaries do you have set in place in your place of retreat?
The only boundaries that I have is not everybody's welcome to my home. You have to be very, very special to me to know where me and my children lay our head. Mm-hmm. So I think that is it versus everywhere else I go. It's very public. Hey, this is my office. This is where I work every day. This is the event that I'm going to be at. This is where my Airbnbs are. This is what I'm doing this week. This is the giveaway. This is the fundraiser. This is where I will be a guest speaker. So I think that everything else is so inviting. Even my social media is open to the public. The entire world can see what I'm doing if I post it on social media. Whereas in my home, it's only exclusive to me and those that are near and dear to me.
That is amazing. That's one of the things that I try to create because I give out so much to so many people. That sacred space. Where I could just be me, and I tell people all the time, I don't care how great I am in them streets. When I get home, I'm cleaning and cooking, and I'm very domesticated. Like
yes.
I'm
yes, you are.
Yes, I'm a wife,
yes.
and
a mom, and grandma.
And I want to make sure that I'm not giving more to others than I am giving in my home. So making sure that I protect that space is very, very important. And I want to say I'm proud of you for making sure that you are giving your children a space where you don't have to be the goat. Because I remember growing up, one of my sisters, she was the manager, and hearing her husband say, you manage them people, but you don't manage here. That always stayed with me to say, okay, you might be get you together in them streets, but when you come home, that's not who you are, and being able to find the balance in who I am to others in comparison to who I am for the people who are in my inner circle.
Yes.
So, what questions you have for me?
So you know that you are very wise to me, and it's funny because I even tap you to get to process what I'm trying to say to other people sometimes, because I realize a lot of the times I say things, but people don't receive it in that way, and I also feel like people should just know what I'm thinking. Like, you should know that I mean this. You should know that I intended to do this. I don't care what your expectations are. This is my vision. So just how do you, keep yourself together? Keep what you have going on. Know who you are. Be confident in who you are, but also help others grow and be confident in who they are.
I think one of the key elements is discipline. I try to live a disciplined, principled lifestyle. I try to focus on preparation. You know, like I was sharing with you, even when we were getting ready for the recordings, I knew that I was going to be out of town Monday and Tuesday. So Sunday, wardrobe for Wednesday was prep, because a lot of the success comes in the preparation. And then as far as being able to be true to me, I'm just true to me. I lived a life for 20 years, being married to a pastor, being in church, being to people what they needed me to be, and also having false expectations on myself for what I thought people thought that I should be, being a pastor, being a pastor's wife. I decided coming out of that, I'm not living a lie. Like if it's a good day, I'm gonna say it's a good day. If it's a bad day, I'm gonna give myself permission to be like, no, today is not a good day. In doing so, it helps me to just stay true to me. Like I'm not a put on airs person. Granted, I do know how to code switch. I think working in corporate America has taught me how to master that. So I feel like I can go in any room and I can adapt. But when it comes to who I am, like I'm gonna remain true to me. And then also being centered, like Christ is the center of who I am. So I'm a firm believer in the principle of seek him first. So in the things that I need to do, I will ask, Holy Spirit, show me how to do this. Times that I need to respond to somebody ignorant text message, I will say, Holy Spirit, tell me what to respond. And in those times when I done responded in my flesh and I gave them a piece of my business, Holy Spirit be like, don't say that. And then I'll delete it. I'll be like, golly, I really want to tell them off. So that helps to be as poised as I am, because I've learned to live by principles, be disciplined. I think sometimes discipline is like a missing element to a lot of people's lives. And discipline doesn't mean not having fun. I have a lot of fun.
Yes.
I have a lot of fun. But when it comes to making sure that I keep first things first, that helps. And then the last thing I would say is I read a lot. Like a lot of books,
that definitely helps.
A lot of information. And I'm not one of those people who, I just love to read. I'm an information reader.
Yes.
So when I'm reading, gleaning information. So reading stuff like the 7 habits of highly effective leaders. Reading things like almost anything by John Maxwell. I'm a huge fan. I know I have 20 John Maxwell books. So those are some of the things that I have found that helps me, is being true to me, reading books, and keeping Christ at the center.
Nice. So another question I have is, what is your favorite thing about what you do?
So my favorite thing about what I do is seeing the results. People will try to make you feel like results are not supposed to matter, and you should just be doing it to do it. No. Everybody wants to see results.
Yes.
Like that helps you to see, in seeing the results, it helps you to want to go a little further. Because like when I know I've had a conversation with somebody and then I start to see the impact on their lives, like that makes you feel like, oh, I should keep doing this. Or I can keep going because I'm seeing the change in people's lives. You know, when I'm out and about and I see the Embrace You coaches thriving, I'm like, oh yeah, this is this feels good. And we always want to feel good. But knowing that what I do is what I've been called to do makes the big difference. Like when you are operating in purpose, like in Miles Monroe said, purpose is a definition of purpose is God's original intent. Like I feel like when God was thinking of creating me, this was what He had in mind. So being in this place, it helps a whole lot. Like we talked, like I wanted to be an attorney. I think I would have been a bad attorney because I'm a wordsmith.
Right.
But when I think about where I am right now, like I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. It took a lot to get here. I went through a really hard time for almost 20 years. But I feel like those things that I went through and I endured is what has solidified who I am and fortified me the ability to be able to tell people you ain't got to live that way because I lived like that and now look at what this result is.
Yeah. I love it. What is the thing you most dislike about what you do?
I dislike the highs and the lows. Like whenever there is something that's really great that happens, like you go through like a mental low.
Yes, you do.
Almost right after it. Like what I've been doing is putting things in place so that I don't fall all the way hard. Things like when I start to feel the fall, like I acknowledge it. Like, yeah, I'm dropping. Then when I am feeling that way, like I want to find something that's going to make me feel good. So I think that's the hardest part. But what I've discovered is people who pour out a whole lot, they all have highs and lows.
True.
Yeah. So this has been amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Not often do you get to ask me the questions.
Right.
So we want to thank you all for watching another episode of Come Sit Down, Let's Talk. I'm Master Life Coach Mechelle, Canady, Chief Curator of Embrace You Training Solutions. See you next week, same time, same bad channel.
With Embrace You, I found a career.
At Embrace You, I found a family.
At Embrace You, I found me.
Are you the strong friend who's always giving advice? Are you the one always mentoring and coaching? Have you thought about being a certified life coach? Because here at Embrace You, we have room for you in our family.
I am Embrace You.
I am Embrace You.
I am Embrace You.
And you can be Embrace You.